The Tyne and Wear rivalry is a modern historic and a fairly new symbolic enmity that dates back to the English Civil War between the people of Newcastle and Sunderland, commonly known as Newcastle-Sunderland rivalry or the Geordies Vs Mackems. We do see a lot of derby teams all around the UK, but the Tyne and Wear rivalry is a bit different, with 12 miles separating two sides. So what is it that separates two clubs, two cities and two sets of supporters? Let's ask the people themselves.
As I can remember, people have always talked about it. I can't ever remember not knowing about the rivalry. But when I was young, I think in the 1980s, like my parents were a little bit scared to let me go to football matches because of it. Whereas now, I think essentially it's because football's become a little bit more business-like. Basically, there's very little violence anywhere.
I think it's back in the 1980s when there was the football hooligans. I think it's like fathers were doing it, so it's passed down to the sons. That's part of the reason. I think, like, I've got an uncle. One of my uncles, he used to go to all the away games fighting and that, and he was like, oh, you should go to the matches and that. We at Newcastle, should I see it? We're Sunderland through and through. Fucking Geordies, all bad things, encouraging, oh, he's got a Sunderland top one, call him that. Personally, I think it's passed down through family because you're bred to support the team, so the hatred for other teams is also passed down as well. That's the main reason I think that the rivalry consists.
When you're looking at the two cities, Sunderland only 15, 20 years ago was only a town. It's a development city, while Newcastle have had a lot more government backing, and a lot of people say that goes back to the Civil War because Sunderland backed the Scottish while Newcastle were on the English side. So I think that's got a lot to do with it.
I think sometimes Newcastle think they're a bigger club than Sunderland, and it was good to see get their commitments.
If we didn't beat them, I wouldn't be able to go to school, Matt. Always wanted to beat Sunderland.
Newcastle has always been a major city, and Sunderland's always been a sort of a small sort of town. And Newcastle has been the wealth and the focus for the northern region. And Sunderland's grew and grew, but they'll never get up to the standard of Newcastle.
Unfortunately, violence isn't unusual between these two sets of passionate supporters. St. James's Park and Stadium of Light will always have their rivalry going on till these two clubs and their supporters are alive.